Hey! Welcome back to the Throttle channel, everyone. Today we've got some content on our S4 sweepstakes car, and this is pretty exciting because this is going to change the overall aesthetic of the car.
So this is the Airlift Performance 3P system. It is all you need in order to put this thing on the ground and really sit it nicely at a show or just in the parking lot, wherever you feel like showing this car off.
Yeah, I mean,
it's worth it.
Aesthetically, we've got a lot of great mods to bolt on it, but this is what actually completes all that. Once you put your wheels and tires on, you put all the exterior mods on, actually the stance is what really makes people's heads turn. So this Airlift 3P package is actually perfect for what we're doing because it's simple to install. We've got dual compressors and basically the whole shebang. So let's go through each thing here and explain to our audience, you know, kind of what this stuff does, maybe a little insight on how we're going to install it.
So starting off with the brains of the operation, this is the 3P pressure-based system that comes with a nice display and controller right here. So
what's cool is this appears to be weather sealed.
It does.
So you can literally just put this under the car if you want.
Nice wire connection, nice finish. They gave us all of the wire and relays and pretty much everything we need, other than telling us where exactly to plug everything in on the chassis side. But it plugs one wire harness into that, and then you just have hoses coming out for your filler in to read your pressure, what your system has, to each corner, and for exhaust in order to sit this thing down. So
not being height based, we're basically using a pressure sensor at each corner to modulate and adjust the ride height.
So setup is going to be key, and that's where this is going to come in. You're probably going to grab a buddy and walk around all four corners and just, you know, settle it down, find out where your ride heights are so you can hit your presets as you're driving, as you're sitting, as you're getting over anything high.
This is actually really perfect for a project that you want to do maybe over a weekend in your garage. There's nothing here that's so difficult or detailed that you would shy away from trying to tackle it yourself. I think this is pretty straightforward as it gets.
Being as straightforward as it is, they sent us everything we need in order to complete this. These are some toes that actually go around the bag so that we're not going to be rubbing against or knocking any of those.
Right, so these are essentially going to reach beside or behind the bag versus the straight ones that are on the car, which would have made contact with the bag.
That's the rear side. We have our separated struts and our bags, and then we have the combined for the front. All of these struts are adjustable just like a coilover, so you can set your extreme highs or lows depending on what your car needs. This shiny piece right here is our 5-gallon tank that is going to be pumped with these dual 444C Vi-Air compressors.
When you have two compressors, it's going to fill this tank twice as fast, which means less operating time for those, so less wear and tear on them, and also less noise in the car.
So that is left to right, everything that is included. Now it's time to get this car up on the lift, remove the existing, and start throwing this awesome Airlift system inside of the S4. All right, car's up in the rack. We are ready to go. It's time to start with the struts. They're the more grueling, kind of mechanical, tool-involved things. So we're gonna start there. It's gonna be simple and straightforward. Got some level sensors and stuff, some technological stuff to consider when we're doing the replacement and having different heights than what stock would run. So we just gotta mind our way around that, but I think it's time to start taking the struts out. All right, we'll start with the strut tower bolts up here.
Clock it in, Will.
All right.
I'm here to help you. I'm here to help.
Strut tower.
What's next, Dr. Will?
We'll take it back up and we'll take the sensor off for the auto headlight leveling, and we'll start removing a couple of the lower bolts, and this shock strut will just drop right out.
All right, so now that all of the suspension components are loose, we're gonna go ahead and get a tranny jack under and just put a little bit of upward pressure so we can remove all the bolts. Then all of the suspension stuff should basically kind of fall out and allow us to remove the factory strut. Crossing our fingers, we got everything. All right, hey! There she is. Let's do the other side. For a limited time, you guys can save 25% off all Throttle merchandise by using promo code Audi25 at checkout. Let me show you some of the new stuff that hit the site. We've got the luxury collection, we've got a hoodie, t-shirt, license plate frame, and then check this out. Throttle socks. We've never done socks before. These things turned out awesome. These are live on the site. Tons of new styles of hats. And we finally have a Red Shirt Tuesday shirt. It's my favorite design right here. These are live as well. And last but not least, You guys probably saw Mickey teasing this jacket while he was in Japan. Dope jacket is live on the site right now. Remember, use promo code Audi25. Every $1 you spend is gonna be an entry to win our S4 plus $20,000. Good luck. All right, front one's done. Front two are done. Let's go to the back now.
So the stock suspension is out. We are now assembling the Airlift suspension. We have the front struts, which are already assembled with the bags on. We're gonna throw these in the front of the car after we put these lines on.
Yeah, so what's really nice is Airlift basically gets everything all ready together. The kit comes with everything you need to install, minus the airlines just have to be attached. So they already put like a liquid Teflon on here. So we're gonna go ahead and thread these into the front struts. And once we finish tightening that down, we're gonna go ahead and install one of these fittings to convert this from a threaded fitting to a push connect.
Our front struts are now assembled. We had to use the stock clamps off of the front suspension, but now these are ready to go in the front of the S4. So I'm gonna lower this down and we're going to loosely put the nuts on the top hats so that it's kind of just suspending the control arms and everything, and I can kind of loosely put all the bolts back in there because it's just me now. I haven't had to head home. All right, so the front suspension is in. We put the struts in and had some fun with some of the control arms up top, but those are in. I'm gonna go ahead and do the end links and get all the bolts tightened in there, and then it's time to move to the back. So we have some opening spots here in order to run this big old 3/8 steel braided line. A very, very safe place is right here. This is a pinch rail that's kind of hanging down. There's a good depth behind that. It's clear of anything moving, so we might just snake down right here, meet up with these brake lines underneath this side guard. Just inside of the frame rails, there are some lines that are running inside of here. So once we take this off, we'll get a better look, but that looks like it's a good way for us to go. And then over there, there's fuel lines doing the same thing right inside of the frame rail. So we'll be above the lowest point of the car. That way, if this thing ever bottoms out over a big speed bump that nobody's expecting, the airlines are not gonna get destroyed, and then these people aren't going to be sitting on the ground with no way to fill their bags. Just finished assembling the rear struts. We did take the hats off of this. This has its own built-in bump stop, so it's okay that we took off the stock ones. Let's go ahead and put the bags in first, and then we'll put the struts in. We'll start tightening everything down, and then we'll keep going. We got both of these bags installed on their spacers from the upper side, and before I can tighten them all the way down, we're already seeing one of the issues and one of the things that they sent us to replace. It is these toe links. That's not good. They're not even tightened all the way down and they're already colliding. So we're gonna go and grab the replacement parts that were sent from Airlift and replace these so that they're not colliding with our bags. Boom! So here's the difference. This is a nice straight one. Look down the barrel. This one is gonna be kinked out just a little bit. That's gonna give us the clearance that we need on the roll protection on the bag. It goes nice and around. There's 3/4 of an inch space in there. Bags and toe links are in. Next up, shocks. Our Airlift performance struts and bags are installed. They're bolted into their corners. Now, before we get to the management side of things with the compressors and the controller and the electrical, we need to run our airlines from our front locations that we've already kind of zipped in. I removed these under trays and we have our exposed lines that we want to follow on each side. And then we'll go ahead and run to the general location of where we want the controller. So let's start running some lines. Well, the underside of the car is done. The airlines are now ran up into the trunk and they're there waiting for us. Next up, it's time to start working on the 3P management.
I am here to help Will today. Today is a fun day. Today's exciting because we're hopefully gonna be finishing everything. So I'm gonna tackle mounting the compressors in the little wheel well here. You are going to mount the tank.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and we'll work together on mounting the actual 3P system and find a good spot for that. But we got a lot of work to do, so let's get started. Here is our CAD template. It doesn't look like too much yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and trace this out on some sheet metal. We'll start to cut this out, and I think you guys will get the picture as we get through the process, but it should be pretty simple. Looks kind of funny, Will. It should work great. Now it's time for, I would say, the final test fit. I just gotta remove that bolt right there, but we're gonna go ahead and just set this in here so I can show you guys what it looks like. There we go. Ooh, yeah, that fits great. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all the nutserts in, clean it up, paint it, and then it's ready for final assembly.
So I got the tank mounted up underneath the deck while Evan was doing the compressor bracket. While he's finishing that up, I'm gonna go ahead and get going on our wiring. We have all of our fuses and battery connections back here, so there's very few wire running through the body that we have to do. The only thing I have is the controller, the touchpad controller that I got up front. It's just a USB connection, but I'm gonna get going on the fused and relays and all that work back here electrically.
So when Will's finishing up the wiring, I'm gonna go ahead and mount our compressors to this little board that I've been working on for a while. We've got this all painted, riv nutted, and now it's time to attach the bi-air compressors with, of course, some Downstar hardware. Compressors are mounted, Will. They're ready for you.
So I just came back and I noticed that this is not installed yet. Sean told me how he wanted it mounted. Not he, but how Will wanted it mounted in the vehicle. So I'm just gonna continue from there until Will gets here. So there's like a big space down here. I don't know if you guys can see it. And this thing fits perfectly upside right, if that's how you say it. But they want this thing to be dangling like this. And that requires a custom bracket to be made, which that's what I do. So what I'm thinking is, you guys see these two holes right here? They're both threaded. And I'm thinking I'll make a plate that I can bolt it down to from the plate to the base of this. We'll be able to bolt it. And then from here, we'll fold it to a 90-degree up and another 90-degree. And we'll be able to bolt it from here to the panel up here. And it will be completely out of sight. All the lines will be able to go through here. And then everything will be hidden. Enough talking, I'm gonna get to the fab area and we're gonna get this thing done. Now you shape it right. So I'm gonna start making my first two bends. It's gonna be right outside of this. They're gonna be bending up like this. And after that, we're gonna position the piece of metal on our bending device from Eastwood, and we're gonna be bending it the opposite way. And then we'll start gauging how much of an angle do we need. Because once you make the first two bends, you can literally by hand, you can adjust the bends and get it perfectly down. So I make the first two bends. I'm gonna do like a 25-degree bend. And then from there, we'll go back to the car and we'll start measuring everything. We're gonna bet this one more. Hey, looking better. We definitely have enough metal. That's why I wanted to make sure that we had enough. We have enough metal for me to make this bend and then start testing. Because even if it's too tight forward with the bend, as we squeeze up, this thing is automatically gonna bend out because of the force of the metal up here, and I'll be able to measure and mark down exactly where it needs to be, and then we'll make our final bend, and then after that, it's just start drilling holes, putting rib nuts and bolts. I believe these are final bend. Let's see what happens. Ooh,
Look at it from this side. I think that's proper, right? Look, go from here, you wouldn't even see the lines. All right, next step from here, if you look up here, I'm gonna drill hole here and here. We're gonna rib knot this side and then bolt it from here. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And that should be it. I'll be done with my, oh, I'm probably gonna paint this bracket that way it doesn't rust. But other than that, after that, it's Will's turn. The bracket is finally done. Hey, buddy, Will's here. Will's back. It's done, it's painted. I got the holes done. I have the rib knots done up here as well. We took the tank off because Will is finishing doing some fittings. You're putting fittings on, right?
Plugging holes, baby.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We're gonna bolt this down right now. Right now.
Ricky just finished mounting our valve controller up here on the underside of the deck. It's really looking good. So now we have some final wiring to do in here. We have our relays, we have our inline fuses and things. After I'm done with the wiring, we have some 1/4-inch hose from the compressors that need to go through the same openings and out to both ends of the tanks. And 2 1/4-inch lines, 2 compressors. This thing's gonna fill up fast. And then it's just to the valve controller from there and to the corners as needed to raise and lower and have this thing sit so freaking rad. So let's finish this wiring and then we'll get this trunk deck in for the final time.
The rear is completely wired up. We also got the compressors wired and we have the lines ran to the side. And now, let's move on to the next thing. Since everything else is done, it is time for us to start putting the wheels on and we're gonna throw this thing on the ground to see what it looks like.
So I just finished up wiring the ignition fuse. Ricky is done buttoning up everything. Let's check this out. I think it looks very, very functional and really clean. I mean, all you got is a floating tank that's visible. Up here we have our valve controller, nice and snug up there, all of our air lines and electrical running to that. I mean, this trunk is fully functional as it was, just a little bit of the cap taken off. Ooh, that exhaust is still good. Oh! Yeah, that sounds like both pumps. Heck yeah. So the controller's working. It's asking me that whether I speak English or not really quick. And yes, I do. All right, it's wanting to calibrate right away. We can at least see that the compressors are getting air into the tank. It's reading the PSI. So I'm gonna let this fill up. We'll drop the lift all the way down. We'll air up and back out. We are on a level surface. I'm gonna step out because it always wants no body weight in here, and I will hit the calibration button on here, and this thing will start doing its wave, and then it's gonna know its ups and downs, and we'll be calibrated, and we can freaking slam this thing. All right, calibration is done. I'll hop in here. I'll show you guys what kind of stances this thing can have.
What are you doing here?
What's up?
What is this?
I'm working on, you can't show these. I'm working on the trailer stuff.
I want you to come see the S4.
Is that on the floor yet?
It is. Oh, Becky's here too. We got Becky too.
Hold on, let me show you guys something real quick.
Oh no. Woo!
It's a new keychain. Calvin saw it. This is a new throttle keychain. It doesn't come with a necklace, but the Calvin made me a necklace, so I gotta rock it now.
Evan the rapper.
That's
Evan's
a joke.
rapper.
That's a joke. It's a joke. Chill out. Jeez. That's funny, dude.
It's like a sled. Evan and his bling rolls out here.
Oh my god.
Luxury collection.
You can't let Vic drive this thing now.
That looks dope.
Yo, Vic's gonna destroy this car. Does it roll like this? You guys haven't checked? It would be really sick if it does. This is sick. It looks great like this, even with the stock wheels.
All the carbon, the roof rack, the Thule. Dang. This thing's sick. It's my favorite one we've done.
Well, that is it. Our Airlift 3-piece system is installed, and this thing is sitting super aggressive now. Tell us what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. My comment is that I think we have a little bit more room for some wheels. You guys saw that we have some rotiforms, but that is in the next episode. So we'll see you guys then. There it was again. You know, maybe I should, whatever.
Mothers.
A2, baby.
Say it ain't so.
I quit doing what I'm doing.
You're short enough in the mechanic realm.
We are. Do you have any? Any free mechanics?
I mean, Evan's a pretty, Evan, what are you, 5'11"? You're not that short.
I'm 6. Calvin is what?
That's the biggest dad
5'2"?
joke I've ever seen. Oh, they can't even hear me because I'm not mic'd up.
Oh, well, check this out, dude.
My name is TJ.
Check this out, TJ. I can be like, I'm over here, dude. And woo, baby. It's around the corner. You ever seen that? You ever seen that?
Background job?
Yeah.